Hi, hello. How are we? I just thought I would talk during these tough times and just see if anyone wanted to talk back. See if we could help each other. I've got loads of thoughts, and I've been talking to lots of different businesses recently and lots of different people. If you're watching the replay, then just help me out. Just put hashtag replay on the comments so I get a good understanding of how people are watching this video. And the idea is that I've got loads of thoughts, loads of advice, and what we've done is we've set up a group. So the idea is that I'm not going to stream just from my profile, because I think I'll really end up annoying most of my family and friends if I'm constantly just putting out stuff like this every day. So I really don't want to annoy my family and friends. So what I am looking at doing is we've set up this group, and we'll use the group to do some more of this stuff. So it would be good to know if you can hear me, by the way. So it would be great if you can just put a comment and just let me know if you can hear me, because that would be a really good start, because I've not done a Facebook Live for quite a long time, actually. So how are we? How are we feeling? What's going on in your minds? It's lots of anxiety, lots of worry, lots of concern. It'd be great to know if you can hear me, people that are watching. Great that people are watching, but it'd be really good, just because I haven't used this for a while, just to confirm that you can definitely hear me. I'm hoping that you can, and I'm assuming that you can, but it would be brilliant just to know for sure. So if you could let me know. But yeah, what's it like for you? What's going on? I mean, we've now got schools closing. We've got all sorts of different things. People that are watching, if you could just let me know if you can hear me, that would be brilliant, because I just haven't had that confirmation yet, and I can see there's quite a few people watching. But if you are watching, just let me know if you can hear me. Just put a yes in the comment or something along those lines. So yeah, we're all trying to get through this, trying to work it out. As I said, we've got schools closing. We've got I can hear, brilliant, excellent. Thanks, Lee, really helpful. At least I know that I'm not just talking to a computer. Home office, by the way. I've always done webinars. Not many live ones, but I've always done webinars, so I've always had this microphone. Typically, I've got a nice backdrop. I think I need to invest in a green screen, but I'm not quite sure now's the time to spend 190 quid on a green screen. Although it would make it look so much better. And there's nothing wrong with this wallpaper, and but it probably would look a lot better if I had a green screen. But yeah, I've been, so I'm a marketing consultant, and having owned my own business, owned a number of businesses, worked in a number of businesses, employed lots of different people. I've gone through loads of ups and downs. I've learned a huge amount along the way, and I just, what you end up doing as a marketing consultant is actually you get involved in so many areas of people's businesses, and it's not just about marketing. And so I've been speaking to a lot of different businesses, a lot of self-employed, a lot of freelancers just over the last few days. We've all got the same concerns, we've all got the same worries, we've all got the same questions, and I think now's just the time to try and help each other and try and understand what's going on. And we've got concerns about schools, we've got concerns about the NHS, we're probably concerned about parents, children. We're self-isolating. I've got a 3-year-old who's got a heart condition. She's got a temperature today, not great. So we're sort of holding back now and just staying in, and we've got toilet roll, we're okay. And by the way, if you've got any thoughts or questions, and tell me, are you self-isolating? Write some comments. I will try and read some stuff out or reply. It would be good to know how things are for you and how you're feeling. But and as I said, I'm not looking at doing lots of this stuff on my own profile. We've created a group, and I'll probably do it through that. What I don't want to do is start annoying my friends and family on a constant basis. I'm sure they'd get a bit peed off if forever I'm using my Facebook profile to do some of this sort of stuff. So the interesting thing that's been going for me is that what I'm amazed at is that most of the experts don't have answers. And well, I'm not amazed actually. No, I'm not. No, sorry, I take that back. I'm not amazed at all, because we all don't know what's going on. We all are concerned. We've all got questions. We've all got these worries. But interestingly, the experts don't have answers, and just through some of the stuff I do, I've started creating some of my own answers, and these are obviously my own opinions, but I just wanted to share some of these things with you, and try and give you some confidence, try and take some anxiety away. I saw some of the best advice today. It was, it really hit the nail on the head. And I think through difficult times, it's just good to connect with people. It's good to talk to people. It's so I'm coming at this from mainly from a business point of view. I'm trying to help the business community, and so if you are in a business, if you have clients, if you have customers, now's a good time to just speak to them. Home workers will just feel so isolated, and there's so much to talk about. We've all got the same hopes and concerns, and email's fine, social media's fine, but pick up the phone. It's a great place to start, and as I said, this is advice that I'd seen today. It would be unfair for me to take full credit for this, and in most cases I'm just repeating some really good stuff that I've seen, and I think it would just be great to pick up the phone. So that's one of the big things that I've seen today. But it's just so, and social media, I mean, gosh, it just is great and it's terrible, isn't it? I mean, we can learn so much, but there is a lot of fake news flying around. There's all we're seeing is the same thing over and over again, and we're in this just tunnel of this echo chamber, and it's just so important to just take a step back, turn off phones, stop going on social media, and just talk. I know that you'll be worried about children, you'll be worried about your family, you'll be worried about your parents. I certainly am. Money will be coming into it, and that's the sort of thing that I've been talking to a lot about. Even let's just see if we've got any comments before I just tell you a little story. So don't know if anyone's got anything to say or ask, or are you feeling the same? Is everyone absolutely fine? How's it affecting you? Are you in self-isolation? Are you, how's it affecting you? What's happening with where you are? Are you feeling? I imagine there's some concerns, and it would be great to hear what you think as well. So a story today, a lady that she's got her own cake business, and small business on her own, makes cakes, brilliant. She's done so well. She's out of nowhere. I remember helping her create it. Probably, gosh, I've no idea. Probably like 7 years ago. Not quite sure. And I remember, so she's done so well, but she's been inundated with cancellations. Everyone, everything's stopped. Like I'm sure you all are feeling. Let me know in the comments. Tell me how it is for you. What is happening in your lives? I want to know. And she's been inundated with cancellations, inundated with people asking for refunds, inundated with, I no longer want this. Can I get my money back? And she's just such a nice person that she firmly believes that she's got to give people's money back, and she has to refund. And even though she has a policy that is these deposits are non-refundable, we've got children's parties coming up at soft plays. We've got children's parties at laser places. I've rung and tried to cancel both. Both of them are not refunding deposits. But do you know what? It's rightly so. They're a business. They're not a charity. We're all in the crap. Don't get me wrong. Again, I'm coming at it from a business point of view. So I understand that we all have to help each other. I understand that there's some real needy people out there. But when I'm talking about my advice, I am talking about it as if you are a business owner as well. So some of this advice, if you're not a business owner or if you're not involved in business, you might find it quite harsh. But I think the business owners need to hear some of this stuff. So going back to this lady that's got the cake business, she's giving refunds, and I'm like, but most businesses aren't. Most businesses are sticking to the policy that you have to absolutely think of yourself in this scenario, and and be fair, of course, but everyone is in the crap, and it's about what's sensible here, and what's wrong with saying, well, actually, I can't refund you. That's our policy. But you know what? When all of this is over, you can put that money towards whatever it was, that cake, which is exactly and for her, hearing that was I think just a huge weight off her shoulders, because I think she just felt that weight that she had to give all this money back, and she had to help people. And as I said, we've all got to help people in different ways. Coming at it from a business point of view, you've got to think of, if you employ staff, you've got to think of your staff as probably high on the list. But of course, you have to think of yourselves and your own family. And so it's about what can you do to mitigate this and ensure that you're protecting yourself as well in all of this. So that was just a really interesting question that I'd had. I've talked to so many different businesses that literally feel like they are about to fold, that sales have dropped. Another business I'm talking to, they typically turn over around £2,000 a day. Looking at their figures for the last 45 days, taking away this week, they are averaging £2,000 a day. The lowest that they ever hit was £1,500, and that was on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, I should add. This last Friday, so like less than a week ago, they took £200. Monday, they took £150. Yesterday, I think it was a couple of hundred. I haven't got their figures from today, but looking at, as I said, at the last 45 days, they've never dropped below £1,500, and on Friday they dropped to £200. They employ, I think it's about 10-12 staff, or maybe it's not quite that many. It's between 8 and 10, somewhere around there. They have absolutely no idea how they're going to get through this. The word layoffs just wasn't in our language. It turns out that layoffs is actually in a lot of contracts, but there's a lot of companies that don't even have contracts in place. There's another company that I've been talking to who don't have contracts in place. If you don't have a contract in place, then you can lay staff off, but you've got to pay them full pay. Well, who can afford to pay full pay at this time? If you're lucky enough to have it in your contract, then you can lay staff off, and you can lay them off for you don't have to pay them anything. You have to pay them I think it's called a guaranteed or a statutory. It's about £25 or £29 a day for the first 5 days, and it's a very small amount. Now, it's really tough conversations. It's really difficult. But if you're in a position where you've got no money, the government, so the government are trying to give confidence. They're trying to say, look, we can give you loans, we can give you grants, and we can help with paying SSP, etc. But the reality of these things, and as I've been looking into these things, and I'm not going to share all of this right now because there's some facts that I still want to check. But the reality is that it's not as simple as the government are making out. The loans are not going to be the easiest things to get. You're going to have to pay them back. Where's this additional money going to come from within your business? You're now going to have to not just make your business work, but make your business work even better to then pay a loan back. There are grants available, but that's only for a very limited number of businesses. There's business rate reduction. Brilliant, but again, it's for a very limited number of businesses. So the harsh reality of this is that there's certain companies that the government sort of putting pressure on the employer to take these loans out. First of all, as I said, they're not going to be the easiest things. Second of all, there's going to be still some guarantees in there. They're only 80% guaranteed from the government, so there's still that 20% to guarantee, and you've still got the concern of how are you going to pay that back. So there's lots and lots of questions, lots of thoughts, lots of concerns, lots of worries, and and it's just about how we can help each other, and what advice we can offer. We have created it's brilliant. We've collaborated. There's about 7 or 8 businesses that are wanting to help each other, help and give advice. There's all sorts of things from sort of IT to finance to cyber security, PR. We specialise in comms, marketing. But you know what? From my point of view, it's around some just sensible business advice at the moment, and helping freelancers, helping self-employed, and helping business owners and employees to really understand what to do and what they can do. I don't know if any of you have any thoughts, any questions. Are you self-isolating? Are you worried? We've created these groups. So there's a group on LinkedIn. There's a group on Facebook. So it's the Coronavirus Yorkshire Business Support Group. If you search that on Facebook, if you search that on LinkedIn, you can join those groups. And there's people like me looking to help you. This isn't about trying to sell services at all. And if some of them come across like that, then we need to, really consider who's in the group. The passion is, what can we do to support? What can we do to help? What opportunities can we create? How can we all look at this and look at what opportunities there are? How we can digitalize? How we can make the most of it and come out fighting and come out better and come out stronger, and put a real fight together. It's so important that we consider opportunities, that we consider recovery and how we can recover after this, with regard from, again, as I say, this is from a business point of view, and how we can differentiate. It's so important when demand's down. The first thing you probably want to do is reduce media spend. Well, it's right. You absolutely have to look at spend. You have to look at spend at home. You have to look at spend within the business, and you have to reduce as much as you can. And possibly the most obvious one is to look at reducing media spend and marketing spend. But actually, this is the opportunity to sort of pull away from the pack and zigzag and differentiate yourself. I mean, if you look back in history, there's some great examples of how companies survived some of the worst times, and there's the example of Kellogg's in the Great Depression. Most companies pulled right back during that time, but Kellogg's decided to double their investment, and they emerged the category leader. Their profits grew by 30%, and it's about spending wisely, being really scrappy, and finding ways to differentiate. But more importantly, really understanding the landscape before making decisions too quickly, understanding the real government advice. As I said, the government are making it sound easy that we can just go and get a loan. Well, you can. It's not necessarily easy. It's got to be paid back. 20% of it's got to be guaranteed. You've got to put a case forward onto how to get the loan as well. I'll go into more detail into this tomorrow, and I'll also go into more detail into what self-employed and freelancers could be doing. And interestingly, what's really interesting today that's come out is from the research that I've been doing, is business insurance. So it turns out that first of all, unfortunately, not every business has insurance. So that's the first problem. But the second thing is that businesses that do have insurance, some of those insurance policies do cover, the word has gone out of my mind, some notifiable diseases. And notifiable diseases, the government, luckily, on the 5th of March, put legislation in place for COVID-19 to be a notifiable disease. So insurance policies that do have business interruption for notifiable diseases, there is some chance that there could be some cover there. I think there's still some questions around that. But there is some chance that there could be some cover, and it would be worth, as I said, unfortunately some of you won't have policies. Some of you that have policies certainly won't have business interruption in them. If they do they have notifiable diseases? As I said, the government have legislated for COVID-19 to be in there, so that's good. But then the question becomes around, how do you prove the loss? How do you are you actually covered? Did you give all the correct information right at the beginning, so that they don't have a clause to get out of jail like most insurance companies do? Are they going to go bust, the insurance company? There's so many questions, and in fact, I mean, now's not a time to play around with money, but there's potentially huge opportunities in the stock market. As I said, there's always opportunities in this, and it's about But the key message, the key message I'm trying to get across here is these are difficult times, and it's a really good time to connect with people. It's a really good time to speak to friends, to call your clients, to call people who could be your clients. There's so much to talk about, and we've all got the same hopes and concerns and fears. And email's fine, but I'd encourage you to pick up the phone, ask someone how they're doing, and it's a great place to start. And there's a lot to talk about here. So I just wanted to just get some of this out there, to try and inspire some of you, to try and take some of that anxiety away, to try and help you through this, to try and answer questions. I've got a huge business knowledge in so many different areas. As I've said, I've gone through some big ups and downs. I've employed staff. I've done every area of business. I'm not claiming to be a business consultant. I'm a marketing consultant. I can help you market your business. However, I also feel that I can answer some serious questions. So I've just got a funny comment there from Lee. Day one of isolation, Johnny's gone nuts. Yes, that would be true. Stir crazy. I mean, we are isolating, as I've said. We've got a 3-year-old with a heart condition who's got a temperature today. Not ideal. So we're at home, and we've gone away from that. Gone into our own environment. Looking trim, sounding good. That's very kind. Well, I'll happily talk about the railway. I mean, what is going on with the railway? There's so many people affected. So everyone's affected. Every single person's affected. If you work for the railways, I mean, what is going to happen? I just don't know. I'd love to know what's being told to you. This is the bit that I not enjoy. That's certainly not the right thing at all. But I love learning. I absolutely love learning. I hated it when I was a kid, and hopefully my kids aren't watching this. My son's just been told his GCSEs have been cancelled. I'm not sure if that's good or bad news, but as a kid, I absolutely hated learning, and I'm not very academic. However, I absolutely love now. In business and the older and wider I've got, I absolutely love learning. I love finding out about businesses and really getting stuck in and really understanding things. And because of that, I've learned so much in the last sort of 20 years, really. And so right now I'm sort of eager to learn what's going on in your industry, what's going on in your sector, what's happening for you, how's it directly impacting you. Hi Fiona, lovely to hear from you. What would be what's going on for you? How's it affecting you? Are you self-isolating? Have you been laid off? Have you had difficult conversations with? Have you unfortunately been given difficult conversations, or have you had to have difficult conversations? And for me, I'd love to know what's going on in your industries so that I can help other people in your industries, if that makes sense. Because I think the problem is that, as I said, the experts don't know the answers. I found myself in 2 or 3 times just this week where I've been sat in front of an expert in their field, and I've had more knowledge and more advice than they've had, and they've been quite surprised with some of the things I've said, and I've then gone off to look into things, and it's opened other doors and other ideas. So I'd love to know how things are going on for you. Please share this. Please join the groups. I'm not sure if so you just need to search Coronavirus Yorkshire Business Support Group, either on LinkedIn or Facebook. Me and several others are here to try and help answer questions, to help us all get through this, and to try and relieve anxiety, to try and relieve stress, to give that place to be able to talk, pick up the phone to people. So important. There's so many digital things we can do. Let's go online. Let's find opportunities in this. And yeah, that's all. So I'm gonna cut this now. But please share and let me know what you thought. And good luck out there. I'm thinking of you all. And we will get through this. It's just going to take some serious time, pressure, and creative thinking, and some really clever money-saving techniques, I think, as well. But I hope you're all well. Hope you're all okay, and keep safe, and more importantly, probably self-isolate. That would be my biggest advice, actually. So keep away from people. It would be the big thing, I think, and keep yourself safe. All right, lovely seeing you all. I will see you the next time, and thank you so much for joining. All right, take care. Bye bye.